Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Who do we have out there? What time is it? About 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. What's going on? What's going on? It's your girl, Tanya Joyner-Scott. Got a quick minute with me? I know I won't be long. I won't be long. I won't be long. But anytime things are on my heart, anytime things are on my mind, I like to share. I like to share. I like to just give you something to think about, you know? And so that's why I'm here right now. Who's here with me? I can see some, sometimes they say something. Hey, Nettie Jones. Yes, yes, I love it. Oh, praise God. Thank you. Hi, Harlem. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, really quickly, you see what I got up here? I'm simply saying none of your business. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. And these are things that we hear sometimes. I'm pretty sure most of us have been in tune to it in some kind of fashion. I'm gonna share a little bit with you, okay? I'm gonna share a little bit of myself. I'm gonna even something I've dealt with myself. And then I heard Lisa Nichols say some things, and I said, you know what? What's going on, Deborah? You know what? And it just kind of had me think like, oh, I need to talk a little bit. So I'll open up by saying this: the most successful people that we see in life, one thing that they do very well is not only mind their own business, but they recognize that other things happening, what other people think or say, is none of their business. I recently heard Lisa Nichols talk about how, I think, was it an English teacher or some teacher, and even a speech teacher? There was a speech class, and that professor, I don't even know if it was college or not. I'm assuming college. I'm not sure. But this gentleman basically told her, it was a male. This gentleman told her that, you're really not a speaker, and you probably would do better just finding yourself a desk job. And of course, the audience is like, whoa. She said, honey, don't feel sorry for me, because one thing I knew I could do was speak. And then there was another teacher who said something to her, that was kind of just a breaking thing. It reminded me of being in college, and I wanted to be an attorney. And now, mind you, my wanting to be an attorney, I know that now it's just a matter of just trying to find that right job, or, to be successful and make some money and all of that, honestly. But nonetheless, I wanted to be. And I can remember being in my college professor's class, and he basically told me in front of the class, I still remember standing there, that I would never be an attorney. Well, I wasn't. I didn't become an attorney. I can remember taking the LSAT. I did well. I graduated cum laude, but my LSAT score wasn't well. I don't do well with tests, y'all. I'm such a thinker. You can overthink those things, right? I know that now. I didn't know that then. Carried the personality, but didn't understand who I was. So nonetheless, I didn't do well on that test. I still got admitted somewhere. I got admitted somewhere saying, hey, you look really good on paper. We're seeing the things that you've been doing. We think you will do well. Just come here, take 2 courses, pass it this summer, and you're in. But it was in St. Paul, Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, at Hamline University. And my mom was like, that's so far. So I ended up, she said, you'll get in somewhere else closer. So I waited, and I ended up not. So I never pursued that career beyond that, okay? But my point is, even there's something that was seeded inside of me to tell me what I couldn't do. And having heard that had a lot to do with me even coming into agreement with my mom to say, you know what, I don't want to go and not pass those classes. These are things that I kind of rehearsed in my mind, but I never talked to anybody about. Here's the thing. When you see this title here that says it's none of your business, see, I made what he said to me my business. Lisa Nichols didn't make what they said to her business even then. She knew then. I didn't. I'm just being very open and honest with you right now. So for me, I made it my business what he thought. And because of that, I put self-imposed limitations on my life. I want you to understand me. Self-imposed. He didn't put that on my life. I put it on myself. And that's a big thing for all of us to understand and know. We have to take responsibility for the decisions that we make. We have to take responsibilities for the actions that we take. Now, hear me on this. When I take personal responsibility, it is the most healthiest thing that you can do. Because anytime I try to hold somebody else responsible for how I decide to live, how I decide to think, for how I feel about me, that's when the limitations come and the suppression happens. This right here is a paradigm shift for most people. Why? Because we don't hear about it in this way. So I really want you to take hold of what it is that I'm saying, and I want you to do your own self-evaluations as well. I hope I'm making sense to you right now, and you might want to come back and listen again. You might want to stop. You want to hit pause when you listen again. You want to exhale, whatever it is that you need to do, because I'm telling you, this right here is key. Regardless, let's break it down some more. Regardless of what anybody says to you, regardless of what they do. And I'm telling you, people have done some horrible things. People have hurt you. People have said things to you. People have made you feel a particular kind of way. You would sit, you would hear it, you would listen, and then you begin to question yourself. Come on, can I talk to you a little bit? Can I tell you about me? Can you know that these are things that I've dealt with? You know, the fact that somebody would say something, it would then make me begin to question who I was. It would begin to make me question whether I could or whether I couldn't. Okay, even though I might not have been saying it verbally, I was behaving as such in the natural. I was actually behaving as such. So it would be times I could come up here and I could go live. This is a few years ago. And then after it's done, or I would go present somewhere, and then I would come back and I'm sitting in our family room and I'm balled up on the couch. And my husband is looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And I don't really know what to say, but it's like my emotions, there was depression that would come. I would question how I did. I would question whether or not people were benefiting from what I was saying. And he was like, Tanya, this is not you, but this is what I carried. And these are self-imposed limitations. Regardless of what it is that anybody says, anybody would do to me, Tanya Joyner-Scott is still the one ultimately responsible for how that statement, that action, whatever they did or said was going to have on my life. So I'll say to you again, what other people say, what other people do is none of your business. Really catch this. And if you want to see yourself going up and elevating in life, and I'm not just talking money, I'm talking about life. I'm talking about your joy. I'm talking about happiness. I'm talking about peace. See, these are the steps that you would take because oh, come on, somebody. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Let me tell you, because as you're walking up those steps where there's joy, peace, happiness, and the gratitude, and all of those types of things, the joy of the Lord being our strength. Come on, somebody. All of these things happening. That's when more opportunities open up for you anyway. That's when you'll begin to see things and you'll say, you know what, I like the way that sounds. That's when you have those desires. Because even down to the point, if I'm talking to anybody right now where let's deal with finances, where financially you're like, God, when? I'm tired of robbing Peter to pay Paul. It seems like the more I do, the less comes. What in the world? Even with those kind of things that you're dealing with, and Lord, I'm getting into stuff that we coaching in now, but let me just say it. If you're having even those types of thoughts, the emotion that's attached to it is what keeps pushing it away, because we start feeling so down in the dumps that what begins to happen is I have an expectation for the very things that I don't desire, but because I give it so much time and the emotion there that it gets, that is not even necessary, but it's necessary to keep it. I keep giving it those emotions that I'm continuing to draw it to me. There's a power made in his image, y'all. This is a power that we have. This is an ability that we have. Many times we don't recognize it. We're walking around here utilizing our powers, our God-given abilities, power of the tongue, right? Power of our words, the fact that we think on these things, all of these things, these are our powers, these are our gifts, these are our abilities, but we use them in the wrong way. And we have to come to a place of really understanding that. So I just can say so much, but I'll just start right here. And again, just want you to know that it's just none of your business. It's none of your business what anybody else says. It's none of your business what they think. And if you really want to find yourself growing and being successful in life, if you want to see your businesses grow, if you want to see a healthier relationship, then you're going to have to get to a place where what other people say or think about you is really none of your concern. And let's flip it a little bit too. We can't be, they don't need to be concerned about what we think. But even in that, let me, Tanya, let you say your name. Let you also be in the mode of saying, I don't need to be concerned about what they're doing either. Y'all see that? That's personal responsibility. I'm not going to be concerned at what you think about me, but Lord, let me also not be concerned about what somebody else is doing. So what if she posts a particular kind of way? So what if she's dressed in a particular kind of way? So what if he's made this decision to do that? Whatever it is, God, let that not be my concern. But if it's anything that you would have me praying about, then let me pray for him, because that's what I'm here for. Am I making sense, y'all? This is how it works. This is what it is. God says, look to me. Come on, y'all. Look to me. He says, look to me. Seek me. Depend on me. This is what God is saying to us. And when we begin to do that, things literally change. You want to talk about peace? You want to talk about peace of mind? This is how it works. So I just wanted to come here right now and just release this to everybody. I wanted you to hear it. I wanted you to know. I wanted you to take responsibility for yourself. And I learned something recently, and it's so good because it's about projections. I'm sure we'll talk about it some more. Dex and I, we've launched our Upgraders Academy now. So the people, those of you who connect with us and join that, you're really going to begin to get some things as well. And it's gonna be deep, okay? we got you, all right. But I'm gonna say this because there's projection. So I want you to grab hold of this. I see a friend of mine right now too. I want you to grab hold of this, okay? Because this is some of the stuff that would happen. Somebody done said something to you. Somebody done called you out your name. It could have very well been a family member. Could have been your mom. Could have been your grandmother. We just had some ladies with us on the 5-day challenge that we did, and one talked to us about her grandmother, how her grandmother spoke to her. Others talked about just different things, just experiences that they've had. But here's the thing, regardless of what anybody says, there's a projection that takes place. And this is where we know, when you've heard that statement, hurt people, is very true. So the very things that they're hurt about, then what do I want to do? I want to make you feel a particular kind of way. So I say it to you. So it's called baiting. So it's a baiting that they're actually trying to do. Because if I can get you entangled in my hurt, my messy is spiritual. We don't war against flesh and blood. Okay? So if I can get you entangled in me, now I got you over here, me. This is how the enemy wants, because he wants your mind. So he wants you thinking a particular kind of way. Can I give you a response? If somebody is saying something to you, if somebody is trying to bait you in and feeling a particular kind of way, if somebody's trying to make you think something or a particular way about yourself, y'all want a response. You want that? Say, well, I understand that that's how you see it. I realize that that's how you see it. Did y'all catch that? That puts it back on them. You didn't take ownership. Imagine somebody speaking to you and they're coming at you, or they've just said something that doesn't feel good. And they made it so matter of fact. You're this, you're that. You don't know. You can't. And then you say, I understand that's how you see it. That's it. That's enough for them to say, that's how I see it. Because that's not how you see it. That's another power. Because if I don't take it on myself, I just left it out there for you. Understand something, the enemy will release but it don't land without your permission. All right? Loving you. Thanks for spending some time. Tag somebody, share it. You've been in conversations. If they need to hear it, let them hear it. Okay? If you want to spend some time with us, if you want to be around, if you want to grow, if you want to get out your own way, if you're ready to pretty much become unstuck, all right? If you want to go up, if you want to elevate, join us. I'm finally doing it. We're finally doing it. Been sitting on this. Muted. I don't know why. That's ain't nobody but the enemy. That's crazy. You can't. Huh? What'd you say? Y'all ain't gonna tell me there won't nobody but the devil. How am I mute on a live? How am I going to mute? Huh? Is it gone? Can y'all hear me? That is insane. How am I mute on a live? I don't even know where I was muted at. What did you hear last? What did you hear last? That is crazy. That is absolutely ridiculous. You ain't gonna tell me nobody but the devil. This message right here alone is a deliverance for a whole lot of people. Now, one thing that I know I said was share it, tag your friends, let them know, okay? Because this is something right here that I think will help so many of us. And it's a practice. You're going to have to learn. There's an undoing that has to take place. It's so much that we go through in life, and then we don't hear things like what I just talked about. So because we don't hear, we don't know what to do. And then when we hear things like, that's none of your business, don't ignore what people say, that's none of your business. And we know, like, it's none of my business. But what I just talked to you about, it helps you understand better how it's not, but also whose responsibility it is for you. Is yours. It's yours on both sides. And it makes it so much clearer. And that's why I said, come back and listen again. Come back, pause, grab a notepad, take some notes, okay? Identify some things within yourself. And that's what I'm saying. It can be so much and can go so deep, but it's powerful. And then the last thing that I was saying as well is, if you want more, just connect with this, because me and my husband are now in a place where we're like, I have to take on, I have to do my part. I have to do what it is that I know that I'm called to do. And it's this. Sometimes people will ask me, and again, see, this is my thing. I understand that's how you see it. Because I'll slow down. I give people a little bit more time. That's me. You can draw whatever conclusion you can draw about me, but I know my call. I had somebody tell me before, don't spend so much time with people. I put on my ministry hat and I know when to take it off for business. When my ministry hat is for business and ministry all at the same time. So if you connect with me, you're going to get it all. But I understand that's how you see it. Are y'all hearing me? TheUpgradersAcademy.com. That's my most recent launch, me and my husband. We may not know you, but we know what's in you. Connect. It's time to get out your way. It's time to get unstuck. Okay? It's time. It's time to grab hold of who you are and elevate in every aspect of life. It's time. It's time. It's time. Thanks for spending some time with your girl. I'll be back soon. All right, y'all. Love you much. Make sure you share. Talk soon. Bye, everybody.